Apple lost the AI race. ChatGPT changed how millions of people work. Google built Gemini. Anthropic built Claude. Microsoft put AI into almost every product it owns. Meanwhile, Apple spent 2 years promising that Siri was about to become smarter. Then Apple confirmed something that would have sounded unbelievable a few years ago. Its next generation of Apple Foundation models was custom built in collaboration with Google and its Gemini models. Apple has now unveiled Siri AI, but it is still in developer testing, with a beta expected for users later this year. In other words, Apple has announced its comeback before most people can test whether the comeback actually works. So, is the AI race already over for Apple? Not necessarily, and if you want the full breakdown, comment AI below and I will send you my newsletter link where I go deeper on all of this. Because AI has two important layers. The first layer is intelligence. Who has the smartest model? In that race, Apple is clearly behind. Nobody is opening Siri because they need help coding an application, researching a complicated topic, building a presentation, or analyzing a document. They are opening ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or Copilot. Apple does not currently have the best general-purpose AI assistant, and partnering with Google is basically an admission that building one internally was taking too long. I bought a MacBook Pro when it launched with the promise of Apple Intelligence built in. I used it once, I did not like it, I never opened it again. But the second layer is distribution, and this is where Apple still has an enormous advantage. Apple already controls the iPhone, the Mac, the operating system, your notifications, your photos, your messages, your calendar, your applications, and many of the permissions required to take action on your behalf. ChatGPT might be able to create an excellent travel itinerary, but an AI deeply integrated into the iPhone could potentially find the confirmation in your email, add the flight to your calendar, message your family, locate your hotel reservation, and remind you when it is time to leave. You do not have to imagine this. You can try a basic version of it right now. Open ChatGPT and connect it to your Gmail or Outlook inbox. Then, instead of digging through a week of emails yourself, give it one clear instruction. Here is the exact prompt I used. Review my emails from the past 7 days. Create a weekly project report with 4 sections: completed, in progress, upcoming, and blocked. Include important dates, decisions, owners, and action items. Do not guess. Clearly identify anything that needs verification. That final instruction matters. When AI is working with your emails, you do not want it filling in missing information or presenting assumptions as facts. Now watch what happens. It searches the relevant emails, pulls out the important details, sorts everything into what is completed, what is in progress, what is coming next, and what might be blocked. Then it hands you a finished report in under a minute. And this is not just a ChatGPT thing. Microsoft is building the same idea straight into its own tools. Give it one request and it can pull from your email, your files, your meetings, your CRM, and other connected tools. Then it comes back with a finished deliverable. No switching tabs, no copying information between applications, no assembling everything yourself. I have a full video explaining the 3 levels of Microsoft Copilot, from improving basic prompts to using notebooks, agents, and connected workflows. I will link it here if you want the step-by-step tutorial. That is the exact model Apple is chasing. The difference is that Apple wants this running natively on your phone across everything you do, not inside one application you had to open first. The smartest AI is not always the most useful AI. The most useful AI might be the one that has enough context and permission to actually complete the task. That appears to be Apple's strategy. But Apple is not alone. Google controls Android, Microsoft controls much of the workplace, and OpenAI is connecting directly to the tools people already use. Apple's advantage is not that nobody else has distribution. It is that Apple controls an unusually personal combination of hardware, software, permissions, and private data. Apple does not necessarily need to create a model that defeats Gemini. It needs to make the underlying Gemini technology almost invisible inside the Apple ecosystem. There is real research behind why this matters so much. Researchers at UC Irvine found that it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully refocus after a single interruption. Every time you jump from your calendar to your email to a different application just to finish one task, you are paying that cost. An assistant that lives inside all of your applications at once is not just convenient, it is protecting your attention. That is the real prize Apple is chasing, not a smarter chatbot. Fewer interruptions across your entire day, But this is where we have to separate Apple's demonstration from Apple's product. Apple has shown Siri searching across messages, emails, and photos and taking actions across applications. But until regular users can test those capabilities repeatedly in the real world, they are still promises. And this strategy comes with a major risk. Deep integration means nothing when the assistant is unreliable. This connects to something I covered in my video about the 6 AI skills worth learning. A useful agent needs context, tools, permissions, and a way to check its own work. Apple may eventually provide the first 3 automatically, but trust will depend on the 4th. If Siri still misunderstands basic questions, fails during multi-step tasks, or cannot work properly with third-party applications, people will continue opening ChatGPT or Gemini instead. You have felt this already. You ask Siri to text someone, and it texts the wrong contact. You ask it to add an event, and it puts it at the wrong time. You ask a simple question, and it just opens a web search instead of answering you. Small failures, but they add up fast. Once an assistant makes you double-check its work, you stop trusting it with anything bigger, and you go right back to doing things yourself. Apple cannot treat AI like another optional iPhone feature. AI may eventually become the primary way we interact with our devices. Instead of opening 5 different applications, you might simply explain what you need and allow an assistant to coordinate everything. If that happens, the company controlling the assistant could become more important than the company controlling the operating system. That is the real threat to Apple. So, did Apple win the AI race? No. Apple lost the first round. But because it still controls one of the most valuable technology ecosystems in the world, it has purchased something extremely important: time. Before buying a new phone because of an AI photo editor or another writing feature, watch 3 things. Can the assistant reliably complete multi-step tasks? Can it take action across third-party applications? And can it understand your personal context without creating unacceptable privacy risks? Those 3 things will determine whether Apple catches up or whether the iPhone eventually becomes an expensive device running someone else's intelligence. Apple did not win the AI race. It bought more time. And now it has to prove that the time was worth buying. If you want the exact prompts from this video, plus a weekly breakdown of how Apple, Google, and Microsoft are actually building these assistants, that goes out in my newsletter every week. The link is in the description. Subscribe here on YouTube so you do not miss the next one. Would you trust Siri with deeper access to your messages, photos, email, and calendar if it finally made the assistant genuinely useful?